Never go to sleep. Oh, still in the morning. I want this to end. Anjir. Ntar guys, gue nggak punya headset. No, jack audio ke bawah lu ya? Iya, yang converter dari in-ear gue ke mic. Ke apa sih namanya? Sorry nih, gue mau main game kagak bisa pakai headset. Ya. Itu loh yang warna emas itu loh. Iya, aman. Ntar guys, gue nyari converter headset dulu guys. Lu di mana sekarang? Mau temu tengah aja? Oh, ya deh. Sorry, sorry banget nih, sorry mau main game bingung gue nih. Oke. Oke, thank you brother. Sentinel versus G2. Seru lagi bang. Tapi jujur gue pengen buat main Valo. Gue pengen main, tau gak? Tapi gak ada orang sih. Ini kudu gue beli sih. Tapi Ready Night gue dikit banget aja. Nih cuy. Udah orang dia lagi mandi. Ya cuy ya, udah sana-sana mandi-mandi. Gue sih liat ada Ever 123 online anjay. Sentinel G2.
Upper final. Oh yeah, that one. That one actually, Ender was sick.
This was a nasty play, and that was to get the ace on the round. The very next round, he does another flick of comparable ability. It's a full 90-degree transfer. I mean, he was absolutely on one in this series, and I think his performance in those rounds back-to-back here is a large reason why they made it all the way.
Oh yeah, Zekin has been absolutely on fire, and we'll see if he can continue that moving forward in the grand finals. But before we get into all of that action, we're gonna play a little game, something that separates the pros from the amateurs. It's called Who's There? Oh, look at that. Come on, guys. I don't know. Just like play it up, you know? Okay, so here's the deal. We're gonna run an audio clip. That graphic was very ominous. We're gonna run an audio clip of an agent's footsteps. And you have to guess which one it is. And by the way, yes, they do have unique sounds. So here is your first audio clip. Let's go ahead and see who's there.
Those are some meaty
Oh,
stats.
I know that.
That's gotta be Teo.
That's Teo.
That's Teo.
That's a million
Teo,
on those
Teo.
stats.
It's Yoru.
It's Yoru?
Wait,
I think I'm going with
Wait,
Yoru on that
the
one.
clone.
wait, Yoru?
For which one?
Which one was the right
Yoru,
answer?
Yoru.
Probably Yoru.
Teo.
Teo.
That's what I'm talking about.
Teo is
Ngopi
the right
jam
answer.
segini gelo.
Wait.
Yoru! Wait, production just trolled me!
Who's right?
We'll share this one, Wyatt. We're both correct.
It's Yoru.
It is right.
It's definitely Yoru.
Yeah, it was. Listen, I've heard enough clones in my days to
Wait, was that the real one or the clone, though?
both. Well, don't they have the same one?
No, but I mean, a real analyst would know the difference.
You get to hear the clones so much. You know what I'm saying?
Such a troll. All right, let's listen to our next audio clip and argue again. Let's see. That's Sky.
Fade.
I believe it.
That's Sky.
Fade.
I don't know this
That's Fade.
That's Fade.
I'm going
Fade
with
itu.
Strongly
D
with Fade?
Fade.
I'm going with
Gue main Fade terus, masa gue nggak tahu suara kaki dia.
I'm not
I
like
know
other
it's not
girls.
neon.
I don't feel strongly
Yeah, it's not neon.
the options.
I'll go Sky.
Sky?
It's a total guess, though.
Everybody says.
Mungkin sekali lagi.
I'm curious on this one, mate.
Fade ah.
It's Fade.
Wait, Wyatt knows everything.
Wyatt
It's ball.
is a knower.
Why are you
by
listening
he,
to all
I
these
mean him.
footsteps?
Yeah, because I play the game.
Okay.
What do you think?
Because he doesn't listen to music while he plays, Mimi.
I don't
You
either.
listen to music while we're
Trent
playing?
does. Or used
okay.
to. I don't.
I need you to lie.
It answers a lot of questions.
that
It
was
really
a
does.
thing.
All right, let's listen to the next one.
Oh, that's Jet.
Jet.
That's
Easy
Jet.
Jet.
Yeah, that's Jet.
I've
That
never
is,
been more
that's
confident
Jet.
in my life.
That's Jet.
I hope I don't get this wrong.
Wait. Yeah.
Flow.
I was gonna say Clove. I was gonna say Clove.
Wow, I was
like, wait a
confident.
minute.
I
Damn.
was
Wait, what's up, Easy?
I'm 0 for 3.
I had a moment where I wanted to go. I wanted to like depart from the pack, and
You should.
I
Pack
just
mentality's
didn't.
bad. It only
is.
takes one person to make a difference.
Sentinels G2 ya.
could have been the one.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Be kind. Anyway, all
Kita
right,
lihat
next
dulu
one.
odds-nya berapa. ISO.
I think that's Phoenix.
Well,
I
it's
saw.
not Sky, because we already had Sky.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like.
That was Fade, though.
I'm gonna.
That was Fade.
That was Fade, so it could be Sky. Oh, dang, this one is tough, actually.
It's C. It's always C. If you don't know the answer on a test, it's C. It's Phoenix.
That's not. Don't.
ISO.
Advice.
No, but no, it's actually good advice.
I'm going with ISO.
You're getting a 40% minimum. I promise. Jet.
Okay, fine.
I will take
Sorry,
ISO
It's
on this one.
always C.
I'm going with
Phoenix and
It's always C. But it literally
G2
will not.
diunggulkan Sentinel
On
gitu.
the day, I choose C after turning my brain off, and I'm correct.
I guess
Wow.
that's how
It's
it
just that good.
works. All right. Well, how many did you guys get right? Let us know in the chat. Let us know on social media. We love to hear from you. But guys, we got a full house for today's grand final, and we wanted to ask the fans who they think is going to be lifting that trophy. I'm sure it's going to be riveting dialogue.
We're out here at the block party for Stage 1 Grand Finals, and I have some questions for these fine fans. Who's gonna win today?
Sen. G2.
G2 easy! G2 easily.
G2! You already know who it's gonna be. It's gonna be Sentinels today. Let's go Sentinels.
G2 baby, let's get it.
I got Sensei.
G2 of course, G2 Army. Sentinels for sure. No doubt about it.
All right, so who's gonna win today?
Sentinels! Let's go, Sen!
Imagine though if Mama Zek can do G2, that'd be crazy.
Segame dulu nggak sih? Jujur pengen, cuman headset gue konektornya ke bawah temen gue tadi, jadi gue harus nungguin dia kesini bentar. Sentinel apa G2 ya? Kalau Zaken pop off, easy Sentinel. Masalah jauh gemo nih lawannya kan. Cara member harus dari web. Ntar guys, gue baru. Guys, jagain cuy bentar ya guys. Kalau dia aneh-aneh bilang gue. Ini sih Zaken sih kalau bisa.
moment and do it together, that's what makes the good teams good, and we just don't have that right now. And I mean, I don't have a fix-all solution. Like we can work hard and get better at it, but I think we need some urgency. Not like in the server, in the match that we need to play with urgency, but like in our regular lives, like we need to get better at this, and we need to work together to get better at this if we want to win these tournaments. We get in so many good spots, and then we just throw. And we can get in these good spots as much as we want, but if we don't know how to close them, if we don't know what to do in a 3v3 or a 3v2 or a 4v2, we're just gonna lose. Like we can close these rounds so easily and make these games so clean. We just need some adaptability.
And that right there was a massive point for Sentinels. They needed adaptability. They needed to know what to do in those pivotal moments. And given who they are,
Anjay.
I'd say job well done.
And it's cool to see Zach.
Gua akan pakai ini terus kalau gue main.
He's a guy only a couple
Thank
years
you ya,
old.
PRX.
Pretty new player. He was really young. His first game that he's competing in a tier 1 level, and he's stepping up and being one of the most mature forces on this.
Mas gue ikut sedih dengan podcast Jamal Yanto. Kenapa sedih anjing emang? Gue ngomongin apa, Cok? Anjay, Juan, welcome my brother. Pak kompet DM dulu, bro.
Match found.
Keluar nggak tahu lagi. Jujur nggak tahu.
Death match. Warm up.
I'll pick them apart. You clean up whatever's left.
Fight.
Hitting 문제 안 나는. Anyone else? Three. Three.
Belum keluar ternyata gua. Save me. Apa sih? Apa sih? Apa sih? Apa sih? Ingat satu lagu. Maaf guys, tadi gua alay. Maaf.
Lights out.
Arsenal PSG gue pasti menang. Aman. Tajam-tajam banget ya.
Sky killed.
Ding, ding, pak, ding, ding. Oh. Apaan sih anjing orang-orang, buset. Tapi di DM orang-orang pakai vandal. Top banget. Orang-orang pakai vandal jago banget. In game mah udah pasti gue bully ya ini. Kayak lu. Buset, di double pick gitu bang. Weh, duit. Weh. Review mouse baru apa udah? Belum lagi. Gua lagi bukan nggak pakai, belum pakai buat main game. Lagi tetap pakai mouse gua apa namanya? G-Pro, masih G-Pro.
Bad luck.
5 kills remaining.
Sumpah tajam banget orang-orang pakai vandal anjing, apaan sih? Tai lu semua.
Die.
One kill remaining. Dominating.
You're done.
Gini nih, sekalinya udah bisa main, gue udah capek lagi. Tidur. Oh my God.
Match found.
Apaan sih, Pearl nggak jelas. Ini
Deathmatch.
sendirian nih.
Warm up.
Buset. Udah mau mulai out. Brand lokal nggak tahu lagi gue. Sorry guys. Nggak tahu gue.
Match found. Death match. Warm up.
Sabar anjing.
We move as a unit, okay? Last thing I need is some hero messing things up. I got yous, okay?
Kenapa gue yang kena? Gue kira dari belakang anjing, the fuck. Reload.
One dead. Finished. Ended. Enough. One down. Rift Walker's dead.
ngantuk lagi anjing.
Fire's gone. Sleep tight. Fireboy's gone. That's 3.
10 kills remaining.
4 down. Taken out.
Ratus 40.
Dropped.
Dengan pop. Wow.
5 kills remaining. Dominating.
Buried.
One kill remaining.
Ya gue mas gancing ini bau banget ya.
Chin up, that was good.
Nembakan gue bau banget. Gak main di gue.
Here.
Ini udah mulai anjing.
It was the same final back in kickoff. G2 took it there, but it was a test for this team. Since winning there, they've suffered their only loss in America at the hands of this Sentinels team, and now coming back to their lower bracket, need revenge to get the back-to-back.
That was a great
Alhamdulillah.
for G2 when they were in this exact same situation in kickoff. And I feel that Sentinels, since then, have really improved, integrating Narrate, Bang into the roster to a much greater extent than they were able to with that shorter time frame at the beginning of the year. In this playoff run, we have seen Sentinels at their absolute peak with this new iteration of their roster.
It's been so good from them, right? And it was doom and gloom at the start of the stage, right? They dropped that series early on to Crew. People were like, this team has fallen off a cliff after what happened to them in Bangkok. But since then, it has been domination from Sentinels.
Yeah, and both teams
Jadi gue gak compare.
Leaf talked about it in the video before the walkout.
Gue mau DMS lagi abis itu nonton.
Here for G2 Esports, but
Itu tidur nih gue
Sentinels from their
gue minum obat lu deh.
their exact same goal too. This Sentinels organization has been wanting to be the big franchise player, just like, you know, some of the other big sports teams that are out there.
They absolutely have been. And it's a rivalry that has been going on for a long time. Different teams this time than when they took the Ascension stage, but John QT and Valor, another chance to compete for a trophy.
You can see
Match found.
pressure is on here, but if anything, these 10 players as well as their 2 coaches more than ready to meet the moment, considering that this is something that they have done time and time and time again.
And that man on the far left for G2, Leaf, if he continues to perform at the level that he's been at in the past couple playoff matches, Sentinels are in some serious trouble.
Meta map traktir 100 main Haven,
Deathmatch.
Bleed,
Warm up.
Pearl, Ascent, Icebox.
Shadows, they will have you.
Fight.
It begins. Give in. Removed. 3 kills. Silence.
Udah mulai weh. Ya.
No more.
nih, G2 terbantai nih. G2 Sentinel nih, bego.
Sage killed. 3 killed.
Dominating.
Buset.
Kills remaining.
3 killed. 4 dead.
Kills remaining.
Removed. Killed.
One kill remaining.
One more.
Guys, nonton dulu guys.
Hold on to this moment. Can't stop here. Here.
Fakes on fakes, and Leafy's going to be squaring up to him, but dropped at a moment's notice again. So Zekin has already wrapped his way around. That was a pincer maneuver if Leaf didn't go down in that spot.
Yeah, this is a beautiful round for Sentinels to pull out. Off the barrier drop, that pathing, seen a lot of the Pacific teams actually running that where you send your duelist in through B, and they've left an insert of Zelsis. So Zelsis going to hear a lot of this, can play as the backstab. G2 would have to hit some outrageous shots to win this round.
Zekin's already going to be drawing blood there towards CT. Zelsis, that backup policy, striking from behind. And that's a flawless round 3 here for Sentinels, denying G2 any chances of that strong beginning.
It's a great strategy. My only qualm would be, could they use it on a round where it would break the economy of G2? Because that was just a bonus, but it allowed them to be extremely clean, get a good economy heading into the next. And I've got to imagine the Sentinels have got more in the bag than just that. Their Haven has looked remarkably good. Remember that this used to be a permaban map for Sentinels at the start of the year. If any map has showcased their growth, it's this one.
And that same emphasis being placed in through Garage. Bullets raining down. Leaf is going to dodge and weave. He's alive for now.
And Leaf is just kind of guessing where he should be putting the wall. You know, should it go over towards C? Should it go over towards B? Maybe even to supplement things in Garage for information. I do like that he's crossed back over onto the other side. Got flushed out of that position by the recon, and now they're trying to clear Jorg, but he's not been caught by the drone.
It's an off angle. Look up through A long. That drone is going to be putting a bit of pressure now applied over towards Zelsis. You might see that strike from behind once more, but Leaf Very forward angle. Yuto's going to be skipping right past him along with the players and the bodies. Might just be dropping and toppling. Valen is caught in a corner, stunned up. Oh my god! Aftershock is just going to be rinsing him.
Kesan diri sendiri anjing.
Lost their placement. Able to return with that fire once more, straight down. They cut Jonah P. Offloading all sorts of bullets and just dropping the round in the lap of G2.
And Valen will be very happy that the rest of his team bailed him out of that situation. Bit of an embarrassing
Did he
spot
stun
for him to
himself?
get. He did. He Astra stunned himself. He thought that the rest of the team was starting to get in for Sentinels. Chose to try to make sure everybody was stunned there rather than let them through the choke point, but got caught by an aftershock. Nonetheless, incredible awareness from Jonah P. And actually, Valen's done his job in that round by calling to have a triple stacking garage because he got the read. And again, that round just kind of typifies everything Valen's been talking about recently, focusing on himself as a leader rather than a player. What matters it if he's stunned? If he makes the right call.
The round goes the way of G2 here. Again, a bit of an exchange with the fire. Just trying to earn up the orbs here. Zeltis' job is to try and contain a bit of presence over towards A. Long that re-clear attempt by G2. Went a bit missing.
And recall that Jorgamo got the push out through A lobby last time, so Zelsis might be feeling a bit more pressure than usual to make sure that he stays boxed inside.
Flash play here, Zekken going to be inserted.
But all of this a feint, but a feint from two important players for Sen.
Davos and the stun as well. Great crosshair placement though. Zekken, Jorgamo getting one as well for his troubles, and he backs himself out of there on top of it. And it has pulled a bit of the attention away here. G2 are quite scattered in terms of the defensive setup. And Valen, luckily with the thorns by his side as well, it was going to be detonated by Leaf, so it has slowed down the approach by Sentinels, but they do have 40 seconds left to play with. And his game, cat and mouse has just gone the wrong way, but Leaf is absolutely going to be reciprocating. That's a steel guard and expecting an instant response, but Sen has slowed themselves.
And here's Jorgamo with this late round re-push. They're so confident right now, G2. Clearing out, Valen walking down mid. They've got great information that this is going to be ending C, but Leaf cannot die. Zen need to root him out.
It's a flurry of bullets. Leaf is barely alive. He's going to be limping towards the back of the side if he wants to try and make a play to push this one back here, but seconds to spare. Sen get themselves into the post-plan at least, and G2 have that discipline, waiting for the smokes to dissipate. And Valen earns himself two, still Leaf back against the wall. He's going to know roughly the position of Zekken. Isolated into the 1v1, all for the ace. Dodging, sliding off to the side. Oh, expected! And an ace
Sorry cuy.
is his!
Zekken jago banget anjing. Gabung gue jago banget.
Sweeping through this bracket recently. And they
Jago banget.
5 kills. The fake over towards A long where he collects the first. Coming back in to make sure that his team is bailed out of a tricky situation. A clutch, an ace. Spectacular individual performance.
Come on, baby, come on, come on, come on.
That individual decision making. Just excellency on display there for the IY Power
PTT
Race.
Pacific lagi drama. Itu ya yang talon ya. Ya bukan.
Seeing it slow down here for the opening. G2, weapons to work with. Zekken just posted up, outlaw in hand.
Keeps all of that momentum going with an early pick. A stun to try to re-clear from G2, but they don't have the weaponry really to fight this. They don't have the armor to fight this either. Everyone on G2 has been extremely confident in re-pushing out on defense, and Sen feel like they've got the read now. They're holding, waiting for the play.
Cross versus Terminal.
Taking point is Jonah P, but well, Trent was supposed to be the backup.
Cross tuh di daerah talon. Apa di Arex.
Dismissal down towards short here. A lot of the danger around is going to be gone here for G2, so desperation is what's called for. But it should be locked up here for Sentinels, nice and pretty now, 3-3.
And the more this goes on, maybe the more that John will start to get a read on what G2 have been doing on this defense. I think the macro overall has still been going the way of G2. They've been mixing things up really nicely, but Zekken's ace has turned the tide of this map, brought Sentinels level at 3-3, and given John more time to be able to figure out what's
Masih dibahas di Twitter kok.
how patient they were. If they can bring that into rifle rounds as well, I think they'll have a lot of success. It's hard for them to necessarily figure it out, but from our point of view, we can see there's constant pushing from the defenders. And G2 themselves are going to be taking a tactical timeout here. Josh RT wanting to make an adjustment.
Call for the adjustments themselves as well. But sitting at the top of the scoreboard is second.
Iya, gara-gara katanya vote-nya disebarkan.
Managed to earn the momentum on the side of Sentinels here, and Zekken has been dominating. His last game versus MIBR, he's putting up unbelievable performances to turn rounds, almost single-handedly.
He's been spectacular. I think the bigger the games have got at the end of this playoffs, the more Zekken seems to want it, the more Zekken seems to be able to pull a rabbit out of the hat at any moment when Sen require magic to be made. He's phenomenal. And I think for Sentinels, it's never been about really talent. We looked at this roster as arguably even an upgrade on last year's roster, pound for pound.
Which is crazy.
That is a mad take, and you know, maybe there's a lot of people out there that might disagree with it, but it was possible. But what was the actual difference? It was getting everyone on the same page. It was making sure that you integrated those new players of Bang, Array, and got everybody aligned with a vision. And I think now that you see Sentinels in that kind of form, well, now you just see the best out of the individuals too.
Sentinels that's potentially more than the sum of their parts.
Now, what is the adjustment that Josh RT has called coming out of this? I'm looking at Valen deep in spawn. He's maybe anticipating back to go for an Omenalt play and getting ready to break it. But it doesn't look like Sentinels are going to be running one of their set tactics off the rip. And at some point, Valen's got to try to actually pick up an area of the map to hold instead of just waiting in spawn for the Omenalt.
Just a bit of poking and prodding though from Sentinels, making sure they can clear up the util. The war going down is a bit dire for G2. They're missing some of that information across the map.
But they've got incredible retake ultimates, and they're going for the push down mid.
Yeah, this is reactionary. They need to know where Sentinels are lying in wait.
And good patience from Sen, bringing all of that patience from the anti-eco into the rifle round. They've now denied that little info play that G2 were going for, and they can now start to go into their own execute. The idea here for John is to try to use as little utility and ultimates as possible. If they can get C for free, they would love that, because that allows them to save Sova, Ult, Breach, Ult for post-plan. G2 again going for the mid-push. They will not be denied.
They're pushing up right behind them here. Potential to catch a timing against them, but it's an open sight. An access here for Sentinels. We're seeing it, an attempt to flood back in, but the players aren't really in position to try and do so. Rowan Thunder expected on either side here. Does push back CT. G2 can't really make a go of things here with a Hunter's Fury on top of it. Might be the cherry on top here, but still G2 are going to be drawing out blood. Leap finds that opening, looking for a little bit more here. Armageddon is all being laid down on top. Sen posturing, trying to open themselves up.
Menang Naret.
It's got so much to do.
Udah pasti menang Naret, gila.
It doesn't matter how well G2 play right now. The Sen players are pulling out ridiculous rounds. Round 5 and round 7. I think G2 played the better game. What does it matter if Zekken and Narrate are on fire like this? Oh my god, that was bonkers.
Gila.
The quick aim reset is superb. That's why they added this guy in the off-season. Oh, if this is how this match is beginning, we're in for a treat.
Absolutely.
Because G2 have had the read. They know what's going on. They set up for the retake.
In terms of macro, they've had a better idea of what's going on here.
But it doesn't matter. Famously, you get shot, you die.
Exactly. The hero plays from Sentinels. That extra element.
Take flight.
And they do hit hard, these players, when they come online. Drifting towards the seaside, though, that's where Sentinels set their sights. And again, a weakened weapon in your G2. Going to be a bit of a problem for them. They are trying to pile in with a couple of the bodies out towards the back, though. Zekken not to be denied.
Anjing. What the fuck?
All sorts of util coming his way. He's looking for more. Jorgamo earns himself.
Gue sudah kena flash itu, gue udah kena flash buta. Gue udah gitu doang tuh.
He's so tight with Zekken, isn't he? Trying to develop that 1-2 synergy that you need. And he's inside the smoke, locking it down. Sentinels have been clean on the anti-ecos. They've forced out 2 of them with absurd rifle wins in aces and clutches. And now Trent, the last player alive, caught back to rights.
Ya banget anjing Zekken, buset. Ih, duelisnya, ih.
Even though it's a 1v4 in that spot, Trent still respecting their opponents. He's waiting for the garage control.
Gue sih megang Sentinel kok.
Instilling that discipline at the right times and not getting carried away. This is the Sentinels team that They don't want to be denied that trophy a second time this year.
Nice, boys.
And when you're winning rounds like this, it sounds calm from Zelsis, doesn't it? I'm sure the adrenaline's flooded through them when they watch what Zekan and Narrate have been able to do, but here's another rifle round. Another opportunity, though, for G2's economy to be broken. That's how Sen are going to be looking at things. A feint at a quick garage take. The recon dart, I think, might have missed there. Could be wrong. But Zekan doesn't seem confident in terms of stepping in and triggering the vice wall, which Leaf has now rotated. Hasn't usually been in garage, so that staying up is going to give them quite a bit of peace of mind. And all the time, G2 are rotating the defensive setup. They haven't been running this before with Jorgamo holding C. It's allowed both initiators to be on A.
Oh, jiggle for the info. Valen and Trent potentially could have been really tested into that spot, but Sentinels are moving into a different spot and direction here, and it's a reclear call.
Kenapa sih lagi pada pakai crosshair gede-gede gini?
Reclears are really good from G2. They're constantly getting information. Again, though, I come back to the same thing. It hasn't mattered in the late round because someone on Sen turns up.
Zekan causing all sorts of pressure. Jorgamo taking a cheeky peek out through the double doors, and the rate has fallen. 3v5 situation now for them, and
Buset.
bang, cleaned up. It's all
Jagain dari chat yang lihat angle kayak gitu, buset.
Who could step up again for Sen? I think it would have been banging this round. He got an opportunity in on A. If he'd won that duel against Valen, they would have been able to get a free plant and a 3v4 post plant. Now, things are looking almost impossible for Sentinels. The clock's against them, the numbers are against them. Surely it's around where G2 can stabilize.
Slow to a crawl here, it's just second left to stand against it. Being offered a shoulder or two, but the round's already going to be lost, and G2 know it. Playing this one back. Waiting the timeout here. Slow burn of a round, but G2 really were just picking apart Sen. Second, staying alive, not going to matter too much. The money is still honestly golden for Sen.
Round 10, and I think John Cutie at this point has enough
Iya, soalnya gue pakai
evidence to
speaker.
realize how much G2 are re-clearing. The fact that you're constantly in retake, seeing people behind
Tuh, anjing
you,
sakit
or you're in
banget.
the post line, but you're seeing people retake on the flag. The fact that
Bisa gua
Zalzis
kecilin.
stun re-cleared in A short there, and you've caught them going for mid pushes in multiple rounds. I think you've got to get a read at this point, even with the limited information that the players have on stage, that G2 are getting really, really active on defense.
Gue habis web 1 tidur, gue.
Do you try to slam some fast executes? That's really tough into the vice. So I think Kaplan should be calling here for John to slow things down and try to catch G2 as they're going for these pushes.
You've seen it consistently, as you've already pointed out. I mean, G2 re-clearing, I should say. A short, sewers. It's one of the spots, the little peaks through mid. Slower game plan. Would work wonders, but the question is, are G2 going to anticipate that level of it as well? They're quite good at adapting to their opponents over the course of a map.
And if you're thinking about the ways that Sentinels might want to approach this thing,
Jelek banget anjing.
they could be going for some kind of C-pop, but the problem is you don't know if there's going to be both Thorns and the wall there. Leaf has been rotating stuff so heavily. All right, well, do you want to maybe see split then? Because that makes it much tougher for the Vice. Well, G2 have been putting 2, sometimes 3 players in garage.
Yeah.
So the rotating door of defensive strategies actually makes it quite tough to come up with a game plan here for Sen. If you wanted to
Tapi nih G2 nyebelin sih cara mainnya. Si Zelsis di A nggak pernah bisa dapat lurk, cok. Di kontes mulu sama Teho-nya.
Seeing it stun conditioning at least to try and break some of this util out towards garage. The Thorns detted early here alongside the Flash and Zekan.
Nyebelin banget. Gabung gua.
No Omen ultimate, so Bang goes and reinforces Jorgamo's position on C.
Ntar udah nembak-nembak gitu, ntar di drone nah, tai. Nih, ke short di drone, anjing. Udah berapa kali kayak gitu, tai. Udah gini, salvo udah ada lagi.
Waiting for it, and this is
Oh.
awful, but will the timing be missed entirely? Zelsis is the first one to catch that contact. There's stuns on util.
Oi.
It's second. Grabs himself 2. Flash. Not quite avoided, but a gate crash.
Second ke stun dapat 2.
But Sentinels have access to the site now.
Kosmetik. Terlalu kosmetik stunnya.
They should know that Leaf's been going for this regularly.
to really wrap it up towards A-Long here. Just a bit of distraction plays being called for these G2 players, though. Stopped in their tracks, and it's up to Leaf here from the side, finally. Takes that time into strike here, but a lot to deal with now if you are Leaf. There's that 3-2-1 swing from Sentinels. Guides them to safety.
A scrappy affair, but Sen get it across the line. This time, not by any individual hero, though you could give credit for Zekken for pulling off 2 in this spot. But it's more to do with how they skirmished, caught those players on top, and then held good post-plant positions. Great synergy towards the end from John and back.
Bacot lu so ganteng lu anjing.
2 more rounds.
Nggak suka buat gue nge-coach gitu yang so keren anjing. Tai.
Sentinels all grouped up for a fast pop A.
There's 5 of them. Feigning like it could be that slow take that they've been doing, at least with Zelsis' cage. Walking up alongside them here.
Trent's trying to get a jump spot, just saw John QT. Might realize this time that it's serious pressure coming in his direction. 3 players stacking, Jorg with a teleport. He could be here in no time at all.
Drone for that information is going to be broken though, and along with that fault line, it's going to be a wall up. It's used in response. Armageddon off to the side, and it just cleans up second. So Rogue is paved up there, and still TP quick into the back. Bang! Strikes back. Double with the paranoia. Leaf has to be there, instantaneous. Finally cleans this one up, and it has called for a pause. Salvos forwards, the rate, but the guns were finally back in action. Rifles in their hands, Sentinels. Not to be outdone.
What the fuck?
That play from Bang was absolutely sick.
Bang gila banget, Bang.
Never not smoked though, still. Bodies are going to be toppling regardless of that one, and it's all left towards Trent. Will he be given that opening? He's found the first. Stuns avoided. Shots rattled. He's got another rough position, but the timing taken there by John. 3-round lead for Sen.
And the play from
Tai Bang kayak gitu anjing.
But even before that, Zekken goes in and gets caught by this ultimate, the Teo ult. And the rest of the team take the space actually really nicely behind it.
Gemetar banget, woi.
They don't get shaken. They play well within the chaos. What was
boys? Sean, what a play. Sean, what a play. You're so good.
It was an excellent play. Bang has added so much needed aggression alongside Zekken into this.
75-84 guys. 84 sih harusnya.
Now a follow-up. It's a bad buy for G2. They're trying to apply the pressure on Zelsis here on his A default.
It's the final round of this first half.
Mau dimatiin nih si Zelsis. Zelsis juga nyebelin banget anjing, ngasih presence mulu, tai. Tapi nggak pernah maju. Ntar tunggu barengan baru maju.
Sen might be caught just unaware here.
The cam though could give extremely good information. If he taps it around now and sees 3 players, they can just react.
Backs though, not really watching, not really anticipating. Flash forwards. Everyone walking up onto these angles, and right from behind, this is it. Jorgamo's time to strike. Brings it true there, at least with a stinger in his hands. Bang, wrapping around now.
Ada trip
At least stop this one in there. Trans, what the hell happened there? Jorgamo, someone taking a bullet to the brain, but Trent is there. At least with the trade, and this entire time, instead of been creeping forwards, crawling, and open access to the A side is what they've earned.
Zelsis throws down that trip that I think he might have been wishing was on the flank, and they've inserted Zekken deep into B. He's going to get good information. They might suspect that somebody's been left in this spot. But do they think it's going to be the Neon?
Already coming to fruition here, still.
Ada ulti kan? Second.
Control outside of that one. Sight's been flipped entirely here. Sentinel still in a good spot, and that's a stun for a stun and an ult expended. Rolling thunder into your face. Oh yeah, that's a bit of miscoordination, but the aftershock pushed forward. A bit of spam might earn himself another one. Jonah P still alive for now, but not for much longer. Zelsis and John have to join and combine their might to try and stand against this one. Salvos, it's not pretty. The heat's been turned up entirely.
Wait, John.
Can't deny it into the 1v1. And time barely there for Trent, I think. I believe. So close. It's going to be on the wire.
0,006. Anjing 06.
And how much did that breach ultimate end up meaning? Zekken getting breach ulted by his own team, wasn't able to fight them properly.
Enggak nih, gue bentar lagi mau tidur, capek gue.
Madness in the final round as G2 get up to 5. So many crazy things happening there. The flank all the way through A lobby, undefended by the Cypher. The push is working again for G2. And the defuse with 60 milliseconds on the clock.
And it's just been non-stop the entirety of this first half here in our grand finals. Electric gameplay on both sides. Two teams just taking chunks out of each other. There's plenty more left to be said as well on the other side of this.
0,06. Nangis gue.
You might have heard I'm going through a little upgrade with my tats. So when Verizon announced that everyone gets a free phone on any plan, pain-free, count me in. Try and beat it. I'll give you a sec.
Udah guys, time to sleep guys. Udah nggak kuat gua. Bye. Good night. Bye.